Alright guys, welcome back to Persona 3 Reload. Last time I met Persona 3 Reload, we just began our, third or fourth trek into Tartarus, and, we're just gonna, continue doing Tartarus stuff, because, we did learn about the clock mechanic, and I believe I mentioned monad doors, but I haven't encountered one yet, so, yeah. And this is also our first, trip to Tartarus with Aigis in the party, so... the main reason we have Aigis here is because we need to level her up before we do the next full moon operation, though technically not really, considering Aigis is... I will say, I pretty much have already decided who my final party is going to be for the final boss, and spoiler alert, I've already probably... two of them are in the party right now. That's usually how it is. For me, I always go with the same party in every playthrough. The only I think I usually keep it. I usually keep at least one healer in the party at all times, and then I usually chain, and then I have someone who's really good with physical attacks, and in this case, or at least someone who's a balance between the two. So in this case, Akihiko. And then usually my fourth slot changes pretty often. I usually have someone random in the fourth slot. But the guaranteed besides the protagonist is always a healer. But that's just how I am personally. There are exceptions. There are times where I change the party up for different reasons, but usually it's because I'm doing some sort of challenge or something like that. Or the game has forced me to have that character in the party. By the way, there is a reason I'm switching out Akihiko for Mitsuru, and that is because you may have noticed my theurgy gauge is at max. So you can see where that's going. But that is for a later time. That is probably for a later time. And by the way, yes, I didn't rescue that missing person. I don't know why I said persons. Also, I think this is the floor we will learn about how certain shadows can be affected with certain states. Or nope, never mind. Might be the next floor. Okay, there it is. There's something in my eye and it's bothering me. Hold on. Is this the... I don't have my glasses on, so I can barely fucking see right now, but I'm trying to... There's like something in my eye. It's probably a hair or something, because I just got my hair cut today. And it's probably a small piece of hair that just fell into my eye, but so that's probably going to be happening for the next day. But anyway, what was I saying? I believe this is the... There, yep, this is... Oh no, this is not it. This is monad. So this is actually where we learn about monad passages, or yeah, this is or I think in this case it's just monad doors, and then later on we're going to learn about monad passages when we finish up the block of Tartarus that we're in. But basically, what monad is essentially when you go in here, you'll notice that you'll see a high-level enemy at the midsection right there. And once you defeat them, you're given... For one, they're tough enemies. They're powerful. Like, they're not like... I wouldn't say they're insanely powerful or anything. They're, you know... They're like... How do I word this? They're about the same they're like a slightly weaker version of an elite... Of a gatekeeper boss, if that makes sense. Like, they're slightly less difficult than that. Then again, it also depends on what block of Tartarus you're in. But for right now, these are pretty simple. And also, again, I'm level 99, so that helps. I don't know why I'm doing this, considering that when you're afflicted with any ailment, even one that doesn't really hinder your movements, you can't do an all-out attack. And that's probably why I hesitated to do anything for a second, because I was confused. I think I forgot that. Mainly because I usually never really had, to my recollection, I've never really had a problem with Makoto being inflicted with with a status ailment, preventing me from doing an all-out attack. And also, I'm probably thinking with logic here that this is fucking stupid, and, you know, considering that Makoto is technically moving anyway, he should be able to do an all-out attack, but, whatever. What's that? I apply that same logic to my own, to the game I'm making? What? Shut up. But I also get it at the same time. It's one of those things where it's like, it makes sense to some extent, because otherwise all-out attacks would be kind of broken more than they already are. But monad passages, though, back to the topic for a second. Once you finish off the shadow or shadows, it depends on how many there are in the, because sometimes it could be up to 2 or 3 other shadows in the battle with it. That was an easy one, just to kind of show you an idea of what these are going to be like. But once you finish them, first off, you're guaranteed shuffle time, and then second off, when you finish it, you can open the treasure chest at the end of the passage, and you get pretty good rewards, which is usually materials. But also, you see the floor layout of the floor you're currently on, and you'll see the floor of the one above you. So it's a pretty good incentive if you want to be able to just skip the next floor completely, because when you know the layout of the floor, you can just skip to the next floor. So yeah, I now know the layout of the floor, which makes things a little bit easier for me. Also, shuffle time is, again, also when you're in Monad, the major Arcana cards pop up more often, meaning that you can get Arcana Burst a little bit faster if you use that. And the thing is, though, is you need to keep this in mind when you're exploring Tartarus, is that if you leave the floor that a Monad door is on, and then try to come back later, you won't be able to access that door anymore. Because I forgot what I think the justification is, that the door will become unstable. But by the way, this is bullshit. By the way, they force you to come back after the first Monad door, which is a little annoying. But it's one of those things where it's also because Elizabeth wants to give you a little more tips about what Monad is. I was about to say, they went down like a bitch. Yeah. So, at the end of every major block of Tartarus, or every block of Tartarus that you explore, you'll come across a Monad passage. Luckily, those ones don't become unstable if you leave the floor. But they do, but they host harder shadows to fight, but they also give better rewards at the end. And I think I went over, I already went over what those rewards are in the last part when I first talked about Monad passages. But again, when we get to a Monad passage later in this playthrough, I will most likely end up explaining the mechanic again, because I like to repeat myself because I'm fucking stupid. And also, I just tend to forget what I said. But the game also will tell you multiple times. The game will tell you when you enter a floor if a Monad door is on that floor. Usually Fuka will say, "Oh, I sense that door," or the game will say, "Go find the Monad door." But you don't have to enter the Monad door every time. There's nothing stopping you from just completely ignoring it. Once you start getting to higher levels, you can just start ignoring it, to be honest with you, because it just turns into a waste of time. Really, the things you get out of doing the battles isn't really worth the time, because one, you do have to go through the door and then watch a small cutscene of Makoto opening the door, and then you have to walk a few feet to actually fight the shadow. And then walk to get the treasure chests and rewards. It's a few extra steps. It's kind of annoying. It's one of those things where it's a little annoying, but you don't have to do it. It's just, I honestly kind of wish they just gave you the rewards for the Monad door in the battle once you finish. Like, they just, like, the shadow dropped that shit or something. But no, they made you go to the treasure chest instead. It's not the end of the world. It's one of those, like, it's like, they didn't have to do all these extra steps for it, but they did anyway, but it's fine. Did this jackass really just use an ice attack on an enemy on a boss that does ice moves?
Doesn't seem to have any effect.
I'll go with.
Am I seriously reading what the skills do? Do I not remember? But honestly, if this was actually after a while of not playing this game, it's possible I just kind of straight up forgot. And it's been a bit, I'm just trying to remember what moves Makoto has. Don't you dare. I was about to say, do not use the full heal when only like 2 people have taken any sort of damage. I am the biggest fucking idiot I have ever met in my entire life, am I? It's like, this enemy doesn't have an exclamation mark when I use the weak item against it. I wouldn't use that. No, that's better than this idiot who's trying to use an ice attack. It's not weak to anything, you're just wasting your time. You have to pray for a critical hit. That's all you're gonna have to do. He did 11 damage. He did a whole 11 damage to me. Oh, wow. I have to pray for a critical hit. Got a critical hit on the first try. Is it one of the scales weak to fire? Use the fire attack. Oh my fucking god. Okay, I guess I won anyway, but that was such a waste of time. I mean, I know I'm not... I know you don't get shuffle time in these battles anyway, so there's not... Right, you don't, right? Yeah, usually you don't, if I don't remember correctly. So there's no real point in trying to do that, I guess. But it's still... I'm taking like 3 lefts to go right here.
Oh, hey. Looks like you're the only guy on the team tonight. I see. So this is what you would call a harem, correct? According to my data, every single man in the world fantasizes of having one.
Wait, is that what you're angling for? Well, ulterior motives aside, I've no problems. After all, this team is strategically sound.
I didn't even realize I did that until the dialogue popped up. I was like, oh, I was just trying to get Mitsuru and Aigis to level 99 when I faced the Reaper. But, yeah, sure, let's go with the joke, I guess. There's another one where if you have all the girls in your team, where if you're dating all of them, it's basically an awkward silence between all of them because, well, you're in Tartarus with 4 of the girls you're dating. So, yes, I said 4 because Fuga counts. And there's also special dialogue with everyone if you're in Tartarus alone. Depending on your relationship with them. Like, Akihiko will say something. I don't think Akihiko will say anything too crazy, but, like, he'll just talk about, you know, I don't know, protein and shit. But, like, the girls especially have special dialogue if you are in a relationship with them and you're alone in Tartarus together. And there's also special dialogue depending on the date. Certain days will have... well, mainly Christmas is the only one that has any sort of special dialogue, where if you go to Tartarus on Christmas, one of them will say some people will say, "Oh, it's Christmas and we're in Tartarus" and stuff like that.
Is that?
And also some will reflect what happened in the story and stuff like that. It's just, you know, there's dialogue for different things throughout the game.
All systems are go. Shadow sighted. Initializing combat mode.
I will say, I mean, I really, in terms of the dialogue, none of it's really annoying,
I can destroy my target.
to be frank here. Like, I never really pay attention to it most of the time.
I can only imagine how intricate.
I mean, I interrupt it most of the time anyway, because I just want to get a move on. You know, despite me fighting the Reaper at least 6 times in this Let's Play, I actually don't really like standing around in Tartarus that much, because of the off chance a shadow sees me when I'm standing around and attacks me from behind, and I get pissed off. Because I really don't like being ambushed. That's just how I am. But we did rescue all the missing persons, so my reason for being in Tartarus tonight is done. But I believe there is still some business I have to attend to. Well, actually, no, because I am exploring the next block of Tartarus completely. Because I do need to fight the next... I mean, we need to get to the next major block. Or next block in general before we can do that. By the way, I noticed in some instances... I mean, clearly the transition, you know, when Makoto is running for the battle to start... It is the loading screen, I will say that. But usually that little screen is probably like, what, 2 seconds long usually? Probably a little bit less than that. You know, probably like 1.5 seconds. But like, there were a couple of instances, especially in this run through of Tartarus, where I noticed that the loading screen actually happens a little bit longer. I don't know if that was just, you know, something I did. I don't know if it's just me, or but like, I do know that is the loading screen for the battles. Like, I mean, yes, this game does have loading screens itself, like the black screen in between every one of the day transitions, or any screen transition whatsoever is a loading screen technically. But you know, Persona 3's loading screens this game's loading screens are actually pretty fast. I mean. But, you know, I never really had any major, like, pauses for loading, besides, you know, Makoto just running like that. But, like, you know it's loading when you know, there's silence, usually. Like, especially for battle. Like, if Mass Destruction or It's Going Down now hasn't played yet, then, that's because the game is still trying to decide. I think it's usually loading because the game's trying to decide, the turn order, maybe, or, if you inflicted the shadow with an ailment while you were running at them, with the later ability, I think it's trying to determine which shadows to give the ailment to, if any. Maybe, I don't know.
Take care they don't ambush us from behind.
You know, there's a lot of factors that go into, you know, preloading a battle. I know that firsthand, because, like, I will say, like, I probably have like 10 variables that persist throughout battles when I'm working on Xenilian. The loading screens don't take that long, but like when you're in, you know, when you're looking at, you know, when I'm doing test playthroughs and stuff like that, I am like constantly checking the variables to see if everything is going right as it should be. Like there's like one variable that is like, there's at least 2 or 3 variables that are always consistently going while I'm playing through the game for testing, and that's because it's supposed to. And it doesn't really affect the loading screen, but, you know, there are times where, you know, the system won't be able to register changing the variable fast enough, and things happen, and it just takes a second. But, yeah. What was I saying? I was saying something about Tartarus, but then I got sidetracked by a shitload. I was talking about how I don't like to... Oh, am I showing off Aegis's? No, I guess not. I thought I was showing off... Oh, well, I don't even have... my theurgy gauge isn't even filled up for Aegis yet, so I can't even do it if I wanted to. Oh, I was talking about the Tartarus dialogue. The Tartarus dialogue doesn't really annoy me at all. You know, sometimes it does repeat because they have, like, some lines that are just kind of stock lines. Like, you know, Junpei says, yeah, nailed it, Junpei, or whatever. You know, there are times where, you know, it plays the same line over and over and over again. But it's not like Sonic Boom, Rise of Lyric Bad, or anything like that, to my recollection. I never had a moment where I thought to just say, oh my god, shut the fuck up, to one of the characters. I've never really had that feeling in the Persona series towards anybody. Mainly for repeating lines of dialogue. Now, there are characters that annoy the shit out of me for different reasons. Teddy and Morgana are huge examples. But, I mean, then again, Morgana just annoys the shit out of me, period. And I'm pretty sure my friend Brayden still wants to punt that little shit across the fucking stratosphere. But, like, I've never really had a character that just made me want to... no, actually, yes, there is one character in Persona 3 specifically that really annoyed the shit out of me to the point to where when I was exploring in the Abyss of Time for the answer, I just had to fucking mute the game because I couldn't take it anymore. Metis from the answer. Oh my god. I don't know. In this game specifically, she was just so fucking annoying. Because 90% of her dialogue is her yelling about Aigis being her sister. Like, 90% of it is just her screaming sister, and singing a song about Aigis being her sister and shit like that. And I just got so annoyed I couldn't handle it anymore. I was just like, oh my fucking god, I can't take it anymore. I gotta mute this fucking game for like 10 minutes. Because, you know, the answer, you know, despite the Persona 3 Reload making Tartarus / the Abyss of Time a lot easier. Oh, I know what I'm doing here. Despite this game making Tartarus less of a chore and stuff like that, the answer can be a little bit of a slog to get through because of the simple fact... Oh, shoot. I just hit the mic. Sorry about that. The answer can be a bit of a slog to get through because because unlike Persona 3 main, you know, you got social aspects of the game to break up the Tartarus stuff. While in the answer, you really don't have that much. I know I'm not doing the answer right now, and I probably won't be doing the Let's Play of the answer immediately after God damn it, I have hiccups and I hate that. I probably won't be doing the answer immediately after I finish this Let's Play, because I'm probably going to be sick of Persona 3 by that time, or at least, you know, just at the point where I kind of want to take a break from RPGs for a little bit. But I will come back to it and do the answer probably in the near future. I don't know when I finish the finale. Because at the time of this recording, I still have, like, no prediction on when I think the finale is, because... You know, yes, I may be going at a consistent schedule right now, you know, uploading every Tuesday and Thursday, but, you know, things happen. You know, I can't predict the future. You know, things could happen to where I probably don't upload for a week, or something happens and I have to do other stuff, or maybe I decide to move the Let's Play to a different day, like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, to make it go a little faster. I don't know, you know, but, you know, it's just... My prediction, I can at least predict the number of parts. I will say we are most likely going to be breaking I'm probably going to be going way over Persona 5's part numbers. Because if I remember correctly, Persona 5, and that was just vanilla Persona 5. That wasn't Persona 5 Royal. Persona 5 was 140 parts. I want to say Persona 3 Reload's probably going to be 150, probably near the 200s. I doubt it'll get to 200, but it'll feel like we're getting close to that. But then again, also, I could do some editing magic and take out certain things that, you know, over time that just kind of get egregious, especially when we start getting to, like, the later blocks of Tartarus. But again, I really don't want to do that because, I mean, the only time I edit out anything related to Tartarus is if I go back to a previous section, or if I died and I need to get back. I think I edited out one time me standing waiting for the Reaper. But the only other thing I edit out usually is Velvet Room stuff, because it's just, you know, it's just me looking at the menu trying to figure out what personas to fuse and what to do so I can get my certain achievements and stuff like that.
How do we proceed?
Armageddon, that bitch. Now, I don't know why I'm doing the Reaper now, considering I haven't finished exploring the block of Tartarus yet. But, you know what? Fuck it, we ball, I guess. In all honesty, I would have loved it if the Reaper actually hit Mitsuru with that, and nothing fucking happened. I would have just laughed I don't know why I'm doing that. He can't dodge Armageddon. He can't dodge. What's he gonna do? Just guard. He's not gonna do anything. He can't escape Armageddon. I don't know why I thought it's like I'm gonna lower this guy's evasion and accuracy. It's like it's not like he's gonna dodge it. Because I don't think enemies can dodge the Theurgies at all. I know they can't block it, like they can't be resistant to it because it ignores battle resistance, but I don't think they can actively dodge Theurgies. But yes, we have defeated the Reaper once again, and everyone jumped up, like, Aigis jumped up 30 levels, and Mitsuru along with her. Or no, Mitsuru was at level 80, wasn't she? What was she? I don't remember. But, yes, once again, the Reaper has been defeated. I have a fucking problem when it comes to killing the Reaper. But, eh. Oh my god.
My persona has gained a new power.
But, like, again, with my whole prediction for Persona 3, I still predict that it's going to probably... My immediate thought in terms of when I think this Let's Play will finish... Probably sometime in the summer. Oh, wait, no. Hell no. We're already approaching summer. It's got to be sometime. It's probably going to take a full year. Because I started the Let's Play last year, if I remember correct. I don't... When did I start the Let's Play? It's been a little bit. Luckily, I have this convenient thing called my channel, and I can just go to the playlist and look at when it was created, and that might give me a rough idea. Playlist was created in April 10th. Oh my god! Oh no, that was last updated. Oh shit, I need to know when I created the damn thing. I created the Let's Play. I'll just check the analytics and see. Overview. Lifetime. Hopefully it'll show me. I started the Persona... Okay, this is just a small assumption. I created the play... Oh, that's showing me... Oh, God. Okay, no, right here. I started Persona 3 Reload on October 1st of last year. I don't know if... I mean, I don't think we'll reach October for this Let's Play. But, I mean, in terms of real time... But in terms of, like, whatchamacallit, in terms of, like, in terms of, like, in-game time, we're obviously going to reach it. But out of time, I don't think we're going to make it to October. But, you know what, stranger things have happened, I don't know. But that's going to do it for this part of Persona 3 Reload. The next time we meet in Persona 3 Reload, we are going to be continuing to explore Tartarus. I think we're going to actually end up finishing up exploring my exploration of Tartarus for this period. And then, yeah, we'll see you guys next time, and take care.